Good evening and welcome to the Youth for the Future Meet the Candidates Forum. The Youth for the Future does not specifically endorse any candidate appearing this evening. The views and opinions of the candidates are not necessarily the views of the Youth for the Future organization. My name is Lisa Thomas and I will be moderating this forum. Tonight we will be hosting one session for elections affecting the city of Algonac. There are 3 4-year terms available, and we have 6 candidates running. Each candidate was given an opportunity to review the rules for the forum. Each candidate for the race was given an opportunity to appear here tonight, and we have all of them. Each candidate will be given a 1-minute introduction and opening statement. They will then be asked 8 questions relevant to the city of Algonac and allowed 1 minute to respond. At the end of the session, each candidate will be permitted a 1-minute summary of their position. We've reviewed the rules with the timekeeper, so please see the timekeeper in the front for your allotted time. All candidates are asked not to interrupt any other candidate during their speaking time. Candidates and audience are asked to be respectful of each other during this forum. Any signs of aggression or statements intended to disrupt will result in removal, and we will turn the tape off. This forum is meant to give each candidate an opportunity to put a name to a face and show their qualifications to serve. The sequence for opening remarks will start in alphabetical order and rotate from there. So we have with us tonight incumbent Terry Isaacs Stoneburner and Rocky Gillis. And challengers Ed Carter, Dawn Davey, Bernie Ferris, and Christina Hawkes-Robb. So going in alphabetical order by last name, Ed Carter, you have 1 minute for your opening remarks.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ed Carter. I'm 63 years old and I have 3 grown children and 9 grandchildren. My education includes college and training and certifications in education, electrical, and manufacturing. I'm a technical engineer for a large plastics equipment manufacturer. I moved to Algonac about 8 years ago after visiting many times. I had been out here several times to the fireworks, and I just kind of fell in love with the community. Algonac has that small, nostalgic, small-town atmosphere that reminds me of where I grew up in Indiana. I enjoy being active in the community, as Algonac has truly become my home. While serving on the Planning Commission, Dangerous Buildings, and Housing Commission, I've supported the continuing effort to revise outdated ordinances to better serve the needs of the residents.
Thank you, Ed. Dawn Davey, you have 1 minute for your opening remarks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dawn Davey. I have lived in Algonac 22 years when I first got married. I am a generation actually removed from Algonac. My grandfather owned 2 homes here. I have a daughter who's 37, who's living back home. I have 2 stepsons and a late stepdaughter, and I am one of, unfortunately, the growing number of grandparents raising grandchildren. I have a 13-year-old who I've had since she was 8 months old. So I'm in my 2nd round of parenting. I love this city, and that's why I am sitting here before you today. And that's about all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. Bernie Ferris, you have 1 minute for your opening remarks.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, my name is Bernie Ferris. I've been a resident of Algonac for 24 years. I'm a commissioner for the Housing Commission, Board of Review, and Algonac Alive. I like to stay involved with the community. After I retired from Kroger's, I managed many stores in many communities. And I've been involved with many communities as well. Whatever store I ran, I was involved with that community, whether it was Romeo, Troy, whatever city I was in. The reason I'm running is that I feel that my credentials will be an asset to the city council and the citizens of Algonac. We have a lot to do. I'm up for all the challenges. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. Rocky Gillis, you have 1 minute for your opening remarks.
Hello all. My name is Rocky Gillis. I am a 43-year-old married father of a 7-year-old. I got involved. I've lived in Algonac my entire life. In fact, we're a multi-generational family here, like many other Algonac families. I decided to get involved in Algonac when my employer was looking for a community service project, and we completed one at the Lions Field. And after that, I realized that I really wanted to show my son that there was more to life than just himself and how to serve his community. So that's really what led me. I was at the Lions Field project, helped with the dog park. Next thing you know, I decided to run for city council, which I believe is the ultimate which is an ultimate form of service, not the ultimate, but a great form of community service. And I am proud to serve the residents of Algonac. And I have loved the last 4 years of serving, and I can't wait. I hope that I can serve for 4 more.
Thank you, Rocky. Christina Hawkes, Rob, you have 1 minute for your opening remarks.
Hello. I'm a lifelong resident of Algonac. My parents used to own a business here. I have a 52-year-old son. I'm on the Valor League of Recognition for the VFW. Oh my gosh, sorry. And I'm running because I like this town a lot. I've been here forever. I've seen bad and good. Lots of changes here. And I think we need more. I don't have any grandchildren. And I think that's all. I want to be on this board. So thank you all.
Thank you, Christina. Terry Isaacs Stoneburner, you have 1 minute for your opening remarks.
I'm a lifelong resident who supports our community every chance I can get. I'm married to Tom, and we have 3 adult children and 4 grandchildren. Tom, our children, and I are all Algonac grads. I graduated from Western Michigan University with a bachelor's in mathematics, U of M with an early childhood development degree, and Marygrove with a master's. I'm a retired Port Huron School administrator and educator. I was appointed to City Council September 2017. I was elected November 2018 and appointed mayor that year, and again in November of 2020. I couldn't be more proud to be sitting here and hoping for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Each City of Algonac candidate will have an opportunity to answer 8 questions provided by the Youth for the Future. They will have 1 minute to answer each question, and Dawn will go first this time. Dawn, what does the word community mean to you?
The word community to me means that everyone wants to participate. Each person who wants to participate has their own things that they can bring to the community. It may not be volunteering at this event or that event. It may be helping just that one person. It may be to where they want to see their neighborhoods get better. They want to have a place to make sure that their children are enjoying their childhoods here. And it's the community together that can make that happen. And I fully believe that this community can get together and help make change. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. Bernie, same question. What does the word community mean to you?
Well, to me, I grew up in a small town down in Hamtramck. Came out here, and this was a small town for me, coming from a big town of Detroit. But I feel out here, it's like everybody just gets together. I mean, everybody works together. Like my neighbors, if they're hurting, I go there, I cut his grass, and just get the community to work together as one. And we had a fire here in this town. I was so impressed how this community came together to help the residents that were involved with that fire. I mean, I was just blown away. So I have a lot of respect for this community, and we all need to work together and be a family together. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. Moving on to Rocky. What does the word community mean to you?
To me, the word community is a group of residents or citizens that working together, whose all voices matter and that all can be heard to try to come up with the best solution for everyone involved. As you sit up in city council, you're not always going to agree with the opinions that are put before you by the residents. It's not going to happen. But if you listen to them and hear your concerns, you may be able to figure out their point of view and where they're coming from. So community to me means that we're all points of view are taken into consideration before decisions are made. Community is the most important thing that we have here. Algonac is a very strong community and always has been, and we've done a lot together, and I hope that we can keep doing a lot together.
Thank you, Rocky. Same question to Christina. What does the word community mean to you?
Pretty much the same as everybody else that spoke. We are all together. We're not, it's hard. Everybody needs to work together and bring us back together, bring some new stuff in. I've been here forever, went to school here, and that's what community means. Everybody helps everybody when needed. That's it.
Thank you, Christina. And then Terry, what does the word community mean to you?
Community means to me what we have lived the last several years. When we have a pandemic, we're out there getting food for people, we're doing things for others that can't help themselves. We don't have to do it with an organization, but we can do it together and make it better. It means getting residents together in a smaller community within our community so they can socialize and be with one another and not feel isolated. Community means sandbagging. We all got together and we sandbagged and we helped one another do that in our community, and many of the people that helped with the sandbag were not living on the riverfront, and that's community. We all came out. No one person and no one organization can do everything for everyone, and it's important that we all work together as one community for the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. And finally, Ed, what does the word community mean to you?
In a true community setting, everyone is important. Everyone has a voice, and everyone means something. In true community, there's food drives. Like when we saw the fire, everyone worked together to help everyone. In the flooding, when there was sandbagging. In true community, everyone supports each other, and it becomes one great community, and I think we have that here in Algonac.
Thank you, Ed. All right, the next question has two parts. Bernie will go first. What are the greatest assets Algonac has to offer? And then what are the biggest challenges?
Well, actually, the biggest asset of Algonac are the people that live here in this town. I just see the closeness between all the citizens up here. Challenge is we have opportunities like the swimming pool, taking care of our boardwalk. There's other issues that we have to stand up for. Also, keeping our schools safe. The quality of education for our students is very important. So, like I said, there's a lot to do. And also, one second, please. Oh yeah, the new businesses coming to the city of Algonac. I like to see these businesses get filled up, or these empty buildings get filled up with new businesses, and also maintain the quality of our water. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. All right, next to Rocky, what are the greatest assets Algonac has to offer? And then what are the biggest challenges?
Well, I will agree with Bernie. One of the biggest assets, the greatest assets that Algonac has to offer is the community. But we also have this beautiful river that we sit upon that many other people don't get to look upon every day. We have, a mile to our north, we have one of the greatest state parks in Michigan. To a mile to in our borders, we have the Harbor Club. We get a lot of tourism here every weekend, all summer long. We just have to figure out how we can capture that tourism. And that is where our biggest challenges come in, is the business infrastructure that is here could only support 3 or 4 more businesses. There's not that many vacancies. We would need private investment to come in here and build not shopping plazas, but different types of buildings for business to operate. Because if you count the actual vacancies, I believe there's only 4 right now, which is not enough to drive a whole new community of businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky. And next, Christina. What are the greatest assets Algonac has to offer, and then what are the biggest challenges?
Algonac has a lot to offer. The community that works together. We have the Lions Club, who has been here for many, many years, Algonac and Pearl Beach Lions. We have the pool, which hopefully will be open soon, not this year, but soon. You can walk down the boardwalk, it's just beautiful. You can sit, you can eat. We do need some businesses here, even though we don't really have a lot of space, but I think we need something like a teen center for kids. We don't have, and we used to have the rec program. We don't have that anymore. Something like that for the kids. We have nothing for the kids to do here, other than the pool, and they can help donate their time.
Thank you, Christina. Same question to Terry. What are the greatest assets Algonac has to offer, and then what are the biggest challenges?
Well, one of the things I've always said is that a community will be good to great if they have great schools, great fire protection, and great police. And that we have here. We have a wonderful community that is supported by first responders in our schools. We also have the beautiful nature around us, whether it be the marsh, because we talk about our community, it's not just the city of Algonac. That's that invisible line that we have that separates Algonac from Clay. We're just one big community. But we have natural assets here. The nature's gorgeous. But we need to use it to help us with the tourism, with, take advantage of that, to draw people into our area, because I think that would help. And as Rocky said, we only have a little bit of space for business. That's it. And when that's filled, it's filled. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Ed, what are the greatest assets Algonac has to offer, and then what are the biggest challenges?
Like many others said, the residents, the beautiful waterfront, the state park, those are all awesome assets. I think one of the big things is Algonac doesn't really have a central business district. So many of the communities around, we don't have a lot of place to build or make more business, but what we do have is all of the other areas like St. Clair is bringing in manufacturing. There's all along the 26-mile corridor is bringing in manufacturing. We have the opportunity to make Algonac attractive to residents that are going to be those workers with the schools, with housing, and with tourism. We can make Algonac attractive to families.
Thank you, Ed. And then finally, Dawn, what are the greatest assets Algonac has to offer, and then what are the biggest challenges?
I've always said I think one of the biggest assets, and I spent most of my life in an area other than Algonac or St. Clair County. The size of this community, I fully believe that one of the most important things that we can teach our children is that they can make a difference. And in this particular community, with the wonderful teachers that my 13-year-old has had, he understands that the best thing that you can do, no matter big or small, is to help somebody, because it makes a difference. When we did sandbags, he thought it was great to go and see what he could do. The biggest challenge is that I don't think that we've gone too much business-wise past the incredibly bad time that we had in 2009. There are avenues to address that, and that's what I'd like to see.
Thank you, Dawn. All right, third question. This time Rocky is first. Rocky, what is the next big project that you would like to see the city focus on?
That one is a very easy question for me. The swimming pool. When you grew up in this community, as I did, that swimming pool was a central part of our summer. We lived there. We breathed there. I wish we could have got started sooner this year on getting the pool built, but unfortunately we had to wait for the state of Michigan grant for $300,000 to come in. And with their rules, you can't start anything until they say that they approve the project. On our next step, we're applying for $1 million grant for the pool. So that'd be if we get that, that's $1.3 million funded for the pool. The estimates are coming in at 1.7. So for $400,000, we could have a very beautiful pool for our community. And I really believe that needs to be the first focus, because if we save one life in that river by teaching children to swim, then that pool is well worth it. And I know when the Lions built it in '55, they thought the same thing. And I'm proud, I hope that we are able to accomplish it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky. Christina, same question. What is the next big project that you would like to see the city focus on?
Like Rocky said, I would like to see that pool done. A lot of kids grew up here, went to the pool rather than going in the river to swim, and like redoing the boardwalk and getting that in shape for people to walk on and stuff. We need that. A lot of people like to take the walk, and it's pretty bumpy. So, thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Next is Terry. What is the next big project that you would like to see the city focus on?
Well, the next one, everybody knows what I want. I want the pool. I lived there when I was little. I learned to swim there. I was a kid, though, that swam there and went in the river. But one of the things, I've been out in, like I always do, in the community, and I'm listening to seniors that I meet. I volunteer at a couple centers with my therapy dog, Murphy, and we're in there, and they want the pool because they need aerobics, and they need it heated, and they've given me the orders of what they've wanted. We were fortunate enough to have a committee that was well-rounded and checked all the boxes off to make it great for all ages. And I can't wait till that comes. That doesn't mean other projects, which the boardwalk, I know, does need to be taken care of. But the big one for me is the pool, to keep that going. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Ed, you are next. What is the next big project that you would like to see the city focus on?
I think a big project that we should focus on is, like many others said, is recreation. And the pool is part of that. But we've got so many other beautiful areas. We have the park, we have Lions Field, we have Smithfield that we're in tonight. We've got the skate park that, as you can see, is getting some work done on it right now. But all of those things are going to attract people to the community, and especially like the pool. So many have said, we need the pool for safety. We're right by the river. So many kids have learned to swim, and I believe that's a life-saving opportunity we have.
Thank you, Ed. Dawn, what is the next big project that you would like to see the city focus on?
Of course, the pool has got to be done. Hopefully, the city is able to get a good chunk of money through the Spark grant to take care of that. One of the things that I've read through 2 master plans, this one that we have now and the one preceding that. I think that we've worked on quite a bit from those 2 master plans to get those accomplished. There are major things that we need to look at and find other avenues to get started on those. The Michigan Economic Development is a wonderful avenue to help us bring in some fresh eyes, to help us get a better clue of where we can work on areas to bring in small businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. And Bernie, what is the next big project that you would like to see the city focus on?
I guess I agree with everybody else. The swimming pool will be a major asset for the city. You think not everybody in this town can afford to go up north, take a vacation. So that swimming pool is actually their vacation. So the citizens of this town deserve that pool. And also the boardwalk, the council's done a lot of great things over there. This summer, I've never seen so many people on the boardwalk that I have in the 24 years I've lived here. So, that's you're getting the wood fixed out there. That's my second priority. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. All right, fourth question. Christina will go first. Christina, what do you think your role as a city council member will be?
I would like to, again, bring in some new businesses. I know we don't have a lot of space, but I have a lot of ideas. I've lived here all my life, and I've seen lots of change come and go, and the people all work together. We're all friends, we're a community.
Thank you, Christina. Next is Terry. Same question. What do you think your role as a city council member will continue to be if reelected?
Well, first off, I think council members are role models for the residents, the business people, and other stakeholders in our city, and we need to conduct ourselves as such. I plan to continue doing that. I plan to be very involved within the community, because by being involved in the community and seeing others, I hear what they want. They trust me, they come to me and talk with me, and it's that relationship piece and communication that I think is so important, and I will continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Next is Ed. Ed, what do you think your role as a city council member will be?
Our current council has such a diversity. We have professionals, we have older people, we have younger people, we have people that have been in the community all their lives, we have people that have come, and I think I would like to continue on with what council's doing, but be an objective part as we continue to grow and build Algonac.
Thank you, Ed. Dawn, what do you think your role as a city council member will be?
My role is pretty much the same as I've been saying for a few years now. I want to help those people who want to be more involved in what goes on in the city. Those people who, unfortunately, there's people that don't want to get 50 feet of City Hall. And I want to see people be able to take their concerns and find constructive ways to do them, which can be done. Can be done without any issues at all. And I think that the best way to get people to come together with constructive ideas, I think that begins at a council meeting. And I want to see more people bring their concerns and have them heard and understand how they can get involved.
Thank you, Dawn. And Bernie, what do you think your role as a city council member would be?
You're a leader for the community. You're representing the community, whether you're in the council or you're out on the street, you're still representing the city. To be a good leader, you have to be a good listener. I've managed many large stores for Kroger's, and the best thing I've ever learned is be a good listener. Listen to your employees or listen to your citizens. They're the ones that live it every day. And feedback, always take feedback in a positive manner. No matter if it's negative or positive, always make it a positive thing. And work together as a community. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. And finally with Rocky. Rocky, what do you think your role would continue to be on city council if reelected?
I believe that your role on city council is that you are the representative of the people. And those are not, like I said, those are the people that agree with you and the people that disagree with you. And sometimes your opinion that you bring to the table or your decision shouldn't be based on just your own opinion, but should be based on all the opinions of the people that you've listened to along the way. Because that's how it should shape your opinion. I believe that city council, it has to take the ideas of the residents that they hear, work with administration and the department heads to try to make things reality. Some of the things that we've done now and things that we've fixed are things that we now see on Facebook. If somebody says there's something wrong on Facebook, on a community site, we proactively go, hey, this is a problem, we gotta get this fixed, and we bring it to the right people's attention. And that's part of the job of being on community, that I believe being on council is, and I will continue to do the same thing if I'm reelected. Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky. All right. Fifth question. Terry will go first this time. It's another two-part question. So Terry, what do you think are the most important services the city offers to the residents, and what would you like to see added?
Well, I think fire and police is a very big portion of that. Safe water, we supply that. We're working with the wastewater treatment plant. What I'd like to see change is, not necessarily change, but to come about and be finalized is the wastewater treatment plant agreement that we are going to be in with, or planning to be in with Clay and IRA. That would be the next step, to have that completed for our community, to keep all our infrastructure safe. And I think that's where we're going with, hopefully soon.
Thank you, Terry. All right, moving down to Ed. You're next, Ed. What do you think are the most important services the city offers to the residents, and what would you like to see added?
We have an awesome fire department, and our water department. We have extremely clean water. We have safety from the sheriff's department. I think, as I mentioned before, I'd like to see us continue with what we're doing in our parks, with the waterfront park. It's beautiful. We've started adding picnic tables and swings. We recently redid a scout park, and it's important that the kids have places to go, that the whole community have places to go and things to do constructively.
All right, thank you, Ed. Dawn is next. Dawn, what do you think are the most important services the city offers to the residents, and what would you like to see added?
I think the important services are, like they said, the fire department, the police department, the DPW. These guys have, with the weather the last few years, trees. I had a tree laying in my yard not too long ago. They, I don't think, are praised enough, especially the DPW. I would love to see the city of Algonac and Clay Township do what we did years ago. I think we need to restore the Downriver Rock. We're so close that there's got to be, like Terry had said, there's that community. And Algonac and Clay are a strong community. They're even stronger when they work together. And I believe Downriver Rock's got to come back. Thanks.
Thank you, Dawn. Bernie, you're next. What do you think are the most important services the city offers to the residents, and what would you like to see added?
Yes, like everybody else said, the fire department, we have an outstanding fire chief here in town. The police department does a great job. The water department, there's problems, we just had existing problems. Our water was good to drink. The DPW, like everybody else says, another key item is keeping the blight out of the city. The council's doing a good job now, but keep blight under control. We need something for the young people in our community, especially the teenagers. We have the skate park. It'd be nice to have a center for them. And also for me, I get a lot of leaves, so I appreciate when the sweepers come along the city, they pick up all the leaves for us. That's also a great service. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. Next is Rocky. Rocky, what do you think are the most important services the city offers to the residents, and what would you like to see added?
I definitely have to agree with everybody else up here. Our fire, sheriff, and all our city, our DPW are second to none, in my opinion. I used to work in Warren, and people would say, how do you live out there in the wintertime? I'd say, my roads get plowed quickly because they're on top of it, and I only have one main road in, one main road out. You guys got tons of main roads, so you've got it takes longer in the city to get their roads plowed than what we got out here. So I was always very proud that I could make it to Warren on time, and a lot of other people couldn't. what I would like to see added, and I do agree with Dawn, and I would like to see if it's within the government or if it's within the local nonprofit. I would like to see Downriver Rec be brought back. We all remember making pot holders at the underneath the Lions Field canopy, and I think the new generation needs to make those pot holders. Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky. And Christina, what do you think are the most important services the city offers to the residents, and what would you like to see added?
Well, as it's already been said, I'd like to see the rec center for kids. There is nothing but the skate park. And I can remember when I was young, like Rocky said, the pot holders we used to do. There was all kinds of stuff to do. Also, my main thing is getting that pool done and the rec center. I want the kids to have something to do instead of hanging out.
All right, thank you, Christina. So my next question was actually going to be how you felt about the pool project. And since you're all agreeing that the pool is an important project, maybe each one of you can take a minute to talk about the pool project in general, maybe your thoughts on the funding or the project as a whole. And that would start with Ed. So Ed, if you want to talk about the pool project, you have 1 minute.
Yeah, I definitely agree that we need to continue on with the pool, and we need to continue to look at innovative ways to grants, whatever else we can come up with in order to fund that. We do have the $300,000. We are applying for another $1 million, and as we continue to be diligent and look at new ways to fund it, we can make that a reality for our community.
All right, thank you, Ed. Dawn, same question. How do you feel about the pool project as a whole, whether it be funding or anything related to that project?
In June of last year, this year, I came across what in the city is in the process of working on it now, the Michigan Spark Grant, which is a new grant program, $65 million grant program through the state that has the Lions Pool written all over it. I fully believe that the city of Algonac should have a very good chance of getting that grant. Should it be putting in that grant application a $500,000 match? That is going to cut the price of, what is it, $1.4 million, that we can get that pool done the way the specs are drawn up for it, and use that money in other areas.
Thank you, Dawn. Same question to Bernie. How do you feel overall about the pool project, whether it be funding or other issues?
It's a great idea. Actually, our city manager, I felt, did a great job going after these grants. I like free money. I like the free money on the grants instead of using the taxpayers' money. Keep that reserved for other issues that might come up in the city, infrastructure, whatever. I also like the idea that this pool is going to be a walk-in pool, which is fabulous for the seniors of our community. They can walk in and walk out of the pool, go in and do their aerobics. So it's a great thing for the citizens, the elderly citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. Over to Rocky, same question. How do you feel about the pool project overall, whether it be funding or any other issues related to that project?
I feel the pool, it definitely has to be built, and the funding wise, we've got $300,000, and thanks to previous councils, we do actually have money squirreled away that we could use to fund that pool, but every grant is going to help us. So I believe at sometime this month, the Spark Grant, the $1 million Spark Grant, comes into application window opens. So then, if we do get that, that will be wonderful. But then I also believe that once the pool is built, we need to look at alternative uses for it to help it generate more income. I like it, now that it's going to be heated. Why couldn't we rent it out to a physical therapy for a couple hours every week to try to increase revenue? Why couldn't we privatize the snack bar and have that like they did in Clay, and have them take the pool money, and we could get rent off that? Those are different things I think about at the pool.
Thank you, Rocky.
Next is Christina. Again, same question. How do you feel about the pool project, whether it be the funding or overall issues with the project?
I think the funding will be a great thing for it, and we need to get that open, so I would like to see a covered pool at some point where we could do swim for the school and elderly people can go, not just 3 months out of the year that we're open. So that's it.
Thank you, Christina. And then finally, Terry, same question. How do you feel about the pool project overall, whether it be funding or any other issues related to it?
Well, Christina just mentioned about covering the pool. I looked into it. You can add certain infrastructure to the pool that we're getting so that later we can add something to it. It may not be a 12-month pool, but it'll be much longer than the 3 months that we do. I visualize other things happening at that pool as well. One thing I would like is not, and we did it in Port Huron when I worked there. Every fourth grader up there goes for a one-day water safety program and learns enough that if you get thrown into the river, how are you going to act and what are you going to do to save yourself? And I think that is something we should offer for every kid in our schools, and maybe have one grade go and see to it that they learn water safety and what to do, even if they don't know how to swim, how to react to a situation like that. We also can, never mind, this next one's going to take too long.
Thank you, Terry. All right, we're getting there. 7th question. Dawn will go first this time. This question is related to working together. So Dawn, what is your willingness to work together with area municipalities to share resources and joint partnerships and/or agreements?
I fully believe that we need to work with the areas around us. We need to, because each community has different things to offer their residents. When we come together, that just strengthens those things that can be done that everyone can use. Like I said, there is nothing I want to see more than the Downriver Rec recreated. I had to take, when Nikolai was little, to East China for a summer rec program, and we used to have one here. And I would love to see, especially for the pool, you get Downriver Rec started again, and then that becomes a community project through the schools and Clay Township and Algonac. So we share in the benefits and share in the cost to run it. And that's about it.
Thank you, Dawn. Next question goes to Bernie. I should say same question. What is your willingness to work together with area municipalities to share resources and joint partnerships and/or agreements?
Well, as we all know, we have a great resource out there, the boardwalk, and a beautiful river that we sit on. That's a great resource to bring other communities into our community and gain some assets and some money for our city. Also to work with the other cities around us, whether it be Marine City, New Baltimore, work together with their activities, and also allow them to come into our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. Next question goes to Rocky. Rocky, what is your willingness to work together with area municipalities to share resources and joint partnerships and/or agreements?
I definitely support any efforts that we can do to join with area communities. I mean, we have a great working relationship with Clay Township. Our fire department, our police department, they back each other up. We work together great, and I think we should continue any cost-saving methods that are mutually beneficial to both communities involved should be explored.
Thank you, Rocky. Next is Christina. What is your willingness to work together with area municipalities to share resources and joint partnerships and/or agreements?
I think we all should work together. Everyone's community has something different to offer than what we have. So it just makes sense to work together.
Thank you, Christina. And now for Terry. Terry, what is your willingness to work together with area municipalities to share resources and joint partnerships and/or agreements?
I think being on council these last 5 years, we have taken great steps to work together with surrounding communities, especially Clay Township and Ira. The fire department had it together a long time ago. They've had mutual aid for years. And we also back each other up when it comes to our policing. I don't see any reason why we can't do more. We're doing it with the wastewater treatment plant as well. A rec department would be wonderful in our area. That is sorely lacking, and there's a lot of adults and children that would love to have that back. And I think that's something that we could work on while we're working on the pool. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. And then finally, Ed, what is your willingness to work together with area municipalities to share resources and joint partnerships and/or agreements?
It's extremely important that we utilize the strengths of other communities near us and that we add what we can. Just the word community means working together, and it doesn't have to mean the local Algonac community. It's the greater community of local IRAs, and we've got a great relationship with Clay and like with the fire department, and there's so many other opportunities, like was mentioned, with recreation and other areas, so it's extremely important.
Thank you, Ed. So our last question is going to end on a positive note. Community organizations are an especially important part of the city of Algonac, and they have a significant impact on making Algonac a better place to live, work, and play. I am also a big fan of community organizations. So we want to hear what ones you're involved in. So let's see, Dawn will go first. Dawn, what community organizations do you belong to, and how long have you been a member of those organizations?
I spend a lot of my time working with the ARC of St. Clair County, which is not a organization here in this city. They used to be very well known in this area. Now their services, people don't know the ARC here like they used to. And I know that there are both children and adults who seriously need the services that can be provided by the ARC. I'm sorry, it's cold, my mouth is frozen. That is where I have putting most of my time. As far as community organizations, I'm usually, somebody gets a hold of me and they need some help, and so I go and I help. I'm done.
Thank you, Dawn. Same question to Bernie. What community organizations do you belong to, and how long have you been a member?
I got involved quite a bit after I retired. Been helping the city numerous ways. I'm a commissioner for the Housing Commission, which I feel really proud to help, the less financial seniors and people in our community find housing. Also on the Board of Reviews to help citizens if they have any questions about their taxes. And also I'm proud to be a member of Algonac Alive, do a lot of charities in town here. I was involved with the Easter Project at the VFW Hall, and every year I get involved with Halloween in the NAC. I sponsor a game, and I went through hard times with COVID, running the Kroger here in town. I felt really bad for the kids. They couldn't go to school and they had to work out of their homes. But yes, right away, I was more than happy to be a sponsor for Halloween in the NAC and help the children of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. Next over to Rocky. What community organizations do you belong to, and how long have you been a member?
I am a member of Algonac Alive since its inception 4 years ago. I am a member of the Algonac Clay Historical Society. I'm just a member. I'm really not hugely active, unfortunately, because of my time constraints. I am a member of Pearl Beach Lions Club. I'm a member of Henry's Club. I am the chairman of the Algonac Clay Community Fund. And I think that might be it. I'm trying to think, but I get involved in all these different organizations because it's neat to see different teams of people working on different projects and seeing how they accomplish them. And you get a bunch of different viewpoints on each different organization that you belong to, and I really do enjoy that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky. Next to Christina. What community organizations do you belong to, and how long have you been a member?
Well, I don't have a whole lot, but I am a member of the Algonac VFW Valor Recognition, and we do a lot of fundraisers for the VFW itself. And I belong to the Historical Society. The Valor Club, I've been about 15 years, and the Historical Society, I just rejoined, but I was for a long time there too. And I just am here now. I want to be on council because I want to work with the city and the people, the community.
Thank you, Christina. Next, we have Terry. What community organizations do you belong to, and how long have you been a member?
Well, my dad was past commander 2 times at the Algonac VFW, and my grandpa was in the fire department for 55 years, so I've always been very civic-minded. My dog Murphy and I were a certified therapy dog team, and we go to our local schools and senior facilities to see everyone and spread cheer. We also, Murphy and I, belong to the St. Clair County Emergency Management Therapy Dog Team, and we provide support for first responders and victims during crises. And most recently, it was the Rolling Brook Fire that we were called up for. And we were also called up to support the Oxford High School staff and students following the shooting in November, and we continued on doing that. I belong to Algonac Alive since its inception, and I brought the charity Photo Quest and the Quiet Christmas for special needs children and their families to Algonac through Algonac Alive.
Thank you, Terry. And now Ed. What community organizations do you belong to, and how long have you been a member?
I've been a member of Algonac Alive since its inception. I'm a member of Henry's Club. I'm a member of Woodside, where we do food drives and baskets and music, backpack giveaways for the kids. I just enjoy, I've helped every year. I'm not a member, but I've helped every year with Goodfellows, giving out Christmas gifts and what they do at Christmas. It's an awesome organization. I love the community, and I love serving in the community. And I do whenever and wherever I can.
All right, thank you, Ed. So now let's finish with our 1-minute closing statements. Bernie will go first. So Bernie, you have 1 minute for a closing statement.
All right, basically, I was going to talk about what my priorities would be, but we touched bases on a lot of that stuff already, the swimming pool, the infrastructure, the quality of our water, and new businesses coming to town. But I just want to leave with just one quick note. You know, I ran stores in different cities. My employees would say to me, Bernie, why do you drive 50 miles to come to your store? Why don't you just move out here? And I would tell them, if you lived in Algonac, you would understand. So I love my community. I want to serve my community. And I feel I have the credentials to get the job done. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. Next is Rocky. Please finish with a 1-minute closing statement.
I guess I'd like to say that I'm very proud of the last 4 years that I've served on council. We served during a pandemic. We had 2 years of flooding, and we still kept moving forward. Council's job is not to always do everything, but it's to create environments where things can happen. As you're sitting here tonight, you got the Bump and Run. This is something new to Algonac in the last 4 years. You've got new festivals on the waterfront. You've got all the new public art on the waterfront. You've got all the new street, every street sign in town is now new. We've updated our website. We've updated our communication to our residents. We've created a Facebook page that was not available. I am so proud of all the different modern technologies that we've brought in the last 4 years, and I hope to continue to keep bringing a forward-moving stay on a forward-moving council and to serve the residents. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Rocky. Next, Christina, please finish with a 1-minute closing statement.
Okay, as I've said, I've lived here all my life. We have great opportunities here. We have our Historical Society that does a lot for the community. We have the Algonac Lions Club, Pearl Beach Lions Club, the library. When I was in school, I went to the library all the time for homework because we didn't have computers and phones and everything. And I would be happy to serve on this board, even though I haven't served on any others. But I would be happy to serve on this board and make a difference.
Thank you, Christina. Next, we have Terry. Please finish with your 1-minute closing statement.
Well, I'd like you to think back on the past few years. We had high water, pumps, sandbags, pandemic, and our community kept rallying. This illustrates how hard we'll work to get anything done, and I will continue to work hard for you. I'm very proud of our city, and while I take pride in where we've been and our heritage, I also appreciate where we're at right now, and we've done many things. You've heard that tonight. And I'm excited to look forward to the continued growth and see what will happen, and I want to be part of it. I'm committed to perform the duties with integrity, and I'll always look for a vision of what is in the best interest for Algonac now and in the future for all residents and business owners.
Thank you, Terry. Next, we have Ed. Please finish with a 1-minute closing statement.
I'm very proud to be a resident of Algonac. I love Algonac. As a member of City Council, I think it's very important that we do everything we can to honor our heritage, but we need to plan for the future. And Algonac has a very bright future. And as a member of council, I would do everything in my power to continue that and support the community and support the residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. And then finally, Dawn, please finish with a 1-minute closing statement.
In March of 2017, I was able to organize a town hall and had never done anything like that before. And the reason was to try to get people together, to sit in a room, to find constructive ways to improve the area, to improve the communication, to help people find ways to bring their concerns, you've got people in a neighborhood who are having issues. Well, get those people together and come to a council meeting. And when I did that town hall was to have people understand that you can get things done if you work together.
Thank you, Dawn. This concludes our session for the City of Algonac Council election. I would like to thank all of the candidates for being here this evening and wish all of them well in the election. On a personal note, I would just like to thank all of them for putting themselves out there and having the willingness to want to serve in your community. Society is not always kind to our elected officials, so it's not an easy job. So thank you for all being here and for all putting yourselves out there. Thank you to the Youth for the Future organization for hosting this important forum. Again, my name is Lisa Thomas, and please do not forget to vote on November 8th. Thank you.